Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big news going on over here where Xbox has now been once again under some huge legal scrutiny. We actually have some pretty big countries such as the UK now on record now calling out that this is going to probably maybe be a problem as we kind of deep and dived into a lot more, and there is a lot more scrutiny that's coming out more than we were expecting. Now, as you guys know, a lot of this is all kind of tied back and forth when it comes to the huge Xbox acquisition and about spending around $70 billion. So all of this has just been like under the biggest microscope and lens that we've ever seen. But now with official, more proper courts and proper judicial systems coming out and stating things about the Xbox acquisition, it's starting to get a little bit more on the dicier side when it comes to Xbox. We've been hearing good things, we've been hearing bad things, so there's a bit more on the bad things side. As well, if you guys are brand new, give me your thoughts and comments all throughout the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and also be subscribed for the PS5 giveaway. We got the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Target links and all that good stuff too as well. And let's dive into it. So, as you guys have maybe been seeing throughout these past 2 weeks or so, we've been seeing a lot more kind of push comes to shove when it comes to all of these big acquisitions. We've had a really big legal fight down in Brazil and South America between the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, and as well now, the UK is now getting involved. Now, I don't want to overly go and state the importance of pretty much global everywhere, but as of right this second, the UK is a pretty big entity when it comes to big world connections. It's kind of like if you say you have China or America or the UK, it's kind of somewhat a higher up there in terms of the global hierarchy, I guess, when it comes to court systems and really important, just gaming demographics, because they are big spenders. And for consoles, they're pretty high up there in how much money they spend and how much they want to deal with stuff. So with this, we now have new articles coming out here from Reuters. Microsoft's $69 billion Activision deal could actually be harming competition, the UK says. We've actually had some pretty big deals, and to kind of give you guys the really big burst of information, it kind of seems a lot that of it kind of comes down to the fact that small industries can basically not exist when it comes to this big gaming world. It almost seems to the point where the Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox all together are almost too big for other smaller companies to make their way in. Now, there is a few mid-tiers, as we've mentioned, such as Ubisoft, EA, and a few other big things like Steam, Epic Games, Tencent, etc. But a lot of them are not big console makers, so that's their own individual industry. And as well, a lot of these smaller game companies basically cannot go and exist. They are just too small to deal with, say, $100+ billion games and game industries, and the amount of people, amount of money you have to spend and everything is all crazy. So right now, the UK is actually saying that this deal actually could be more harmful to go through this. So the quick summary: UK to now further probe into this Microsoft Activision merger. The deal could actually reduce gaming console competition. So basically the PlayStation 5 or Switch could actually be even less of a strong foothold in the console market. As well, Microsoft Activision has to go and cooperate now with the CMA, which is kind of like a UK-based big security/acquisition company. So as of right now, London, in September 1st, Britain antitrust regulator said Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty maker and other games, Activision Blizzard, could actually be harming competition in gaming consoles, subscription services in cloud gaming, and it needs to be investigated in depth. So this is basically pointing whoa, chill. This is probably going to be a bigger deal than we're expecting. You might have to put a little bit more effort into all this. So the Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, said on Thursday, the deal, the largest ever in gaming, could damage the industry if Microsoft refused to give competitors access to Activision's best-selling games. Although, as I do mention later on throughout this article, they do, and we have seen Xbox stating that they will give PlayStation still day one access, which is nice, but still, we'd have to see. We are concerned that Microsoft could use its control over popular games like Call of Duty and World of Warcraft, so that's more on the MMO market, because there really isn't that many other big MMOs, say Final Fantasy XIV, to kind of push into, subscription base and all of that. Same with Call of Duty, where it's just such a big game, it's usually the #1 seller on PlayStation. So all these post-mergers to harm rivals, including recent, and this is like recent, so think Nintendo, think Sony, maybe think some online platforms. But the big thing they keep on seeing popping up is future rivals in multi-game subscription services and cloud gaming. So first of all, cloud gaming is very expensive. You need to have the servers, access, and obviously the catalog to go and be able to go churn money. No one's going to really want to spend money on a game or game streaming subscription if it's like 1 or 2 games. And as well, when it comes to cloud gaming hosting, it's extremely expensive, one of the bigger charges for it. And obviously multi-game subscription services too as well. That's more on like the World of Warcraft, Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Live, etc. So Microsoft, with Xbox and its rivals Sony and Nintendo, have led the console market for 20 years, with now as well, once again, there's very limited new rivals in the gaming console space. We have seen a few that pop up that do relatively well, so I think the Steam Deck, but nothing really big have made moves. We want people to have more access to games, not less, Microsoft President and Vice Chair Brad Smith said. Sony, as the industry leader, says it's worried about Call of Duty, but we are committed to making the same game available on the same day on both Xbox and PlayStation. Although they also have not made big statements, and I talked about this maybe yesterday or the past few days, where we really haven't seen too much big companies out there that are offering this, say for like, say World of Warcraft, say Overwatch, say Diablo, etc. We haven't seen these big companies go and mention this. Well, this is Activision, but their subsidiaries. Or as well as same with Microsoft. They've only been mentioning Call of Duty because that's the one that's been kind of brought up in court. But we did also see the official statements that Game Pass will be having day one Call of Duty and other various games such as Overwatch and Diablo on day one on their systems. So that also could be another scrutiny besides the fact of all these smaller companies not being put in, because if they're pushing the small company side, having games all available for $15 and all hundreds of games together does almost make it impossible for other game companies to either have their own cloud gaming system or their own subscription-based service. I think PlayStation's probably the only place, maybe Steam. I can maybe see Steam because they're big enough to do it. Maybe Epic Games as well, although they more push the free microtransaction side, think Fortnite, etc. It's basically almost impossible to have any of these game companies time on in without billions of dollars, a lot of money. So several analysts described the move as unsurprising and said that the deal would not be anti-competitive if competitors were given access to Microsoft games, as Microsoft has pledged. So a lot of things keep on saying that if Xbox says and keeps to their word, they will be fine. But as well, a lot of folks are putting big scrutiny because we don't know what if it changes 5 years from now, and as of right now, basically the courts are still trying to shut this down. So Microsoft needs to give a greater deal on assurances and put down in writing certain specifics around exclusivity. And that's a big thing too, is you need it on proper contract and proper public, because this is a big deal. This is hey, this is a $70 billion deal. This is a pretty big thing at the end of the day. And right now they could say publicly all they want. And I've kind of scrutinized them myself for it. You could have Phil Spencer being we're going to do the best for the game industry. But until he specifically has it in writing that this is their plan, this is what they're going to do, it's kind of mute at that point. It's crazy to go and see. As well, here's just some cool little pictures, for all the stuff. So Activision still expects the deal to close in Microsoft's fiscal year to end in June 2023. The companies have until September 8th to submit proposals to address the CMA's issues too as well. So it's intriguing to see this. Cloud Gaming 2 on top of this, which was announced in January, will also require approval in the United States as well as other major jurisdictions, including the European Union and also China. Reuters previously reported that Microsoft would pay a $3 billion break fee if the deal falls through. $3 billion. According to a source familiar with the matter, suggesting the company was confident of winning antitrust approval so far. The CMA said Microsoft was well positioned to succeed in cloud gaming, given it has a lead cloud platform in Azure and leading PC operating systems in Windows OS and as well on Xbox. It said these strengths in combination with Activision games could damage competition in a nascent market for cloud gaming services. So as I mentioned, they do want to put all this stuff on Game Pass. They want to make it work, but if smaller game companies can time on in, what's the actual point? They won't be able to go past it. Same with as well, if it affects Sony too much, they won't be able to go buy out the actual company itself too as well. So give me your thoughts. Like, I think it's crazy that there's such a big blockage right now with Xbox and how it's so kind of bad. It's a little bit more scary for them than we thought. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, and as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. The Amazon links down below, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and all that good stuff down below. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching.